Alright guys, welcome to another 8-bit face-off kerfuffle. It's been a wee while since I've done one of these. This game is Way of the Exploding Fist, released in 1985 by Melbourne House. Now this is the C64 one. This is the version that I played back in the day. Right, let's just start playing it. If I can, a wee second, get that up there, and let's go. Now, I absolutely loved this game back in the day. I remember seeing a review in Zap 64, and they absolutely raved about it. And I ran up to my local computer shop because back then, you know, John Menzies, the big retail stores, simply did not sell computer software, so I had to rely on a wee local computer shop, which I have spoken about many times. It was a little Italian guy that owned it. I used to work part-time in a shop when I wasn't at school, and I used to work a Saturday. I used to finish at 5:30. No, I used to finish at 5, sorry. And the shop used to close at 5:30, and so what I used to have to do is try and jump on my moped and get up to the shop before it closed. Or else I had to wait another week before I could get the game. And I remember getting this game. I went up to get it, and he didn't have it. It was going to be a few days later, so I think I may have actually paid the money, I can't remember. And I was going to get it on the Wednesday, and I was so, I've never been so excited. You know, the anticipation of waiting for this game was incredible. I mean, you hear people taking days off to play the latest Call of Duty and, you know, that kind of stuff. I've never had that for any game, but I did with this. It was just such an incredible game, and it still is. I have a mate who, he's actually just recently, I don't know what it is he does, it's not karate, but he's done karate, he's done lots of martial arts, and he's actually literally just in the last week got a first dan black belt and whatever it is he does. And he used to have a C64, and he always used to tell me that this is one of the best, most authentic karate games you can get. He says it's just, there's none of this special move nonsense, you know, you've got proper moves. And he used to use the keyboard. He always reckoned that the keyboard was the way to play it. I was never able to do. Have I got a high score? There we go. Name. Let's go for another go. He used to say that this was one of the most authentic karate games you could really play. It's obviously based on Karate Champ, which was in arcades. Can't remember who made that one actually. And it used to use, come on, it used to use 2 joysticks. But in my opinion, this game was even better. I mean, the graphics in this game, you'd never seen anything like it. Huge big sprites, they look really good. I mean, if anyone's about the same age as me, you may remember a program that used to be on in the 70s called Monkey. It was a Japanese or Chinese program, and it was subtitled, and the guys in this look exactly like the guys that were in Monkey. God, that was even worse, probably because I'm talking, that's my excuse. But yeah, the C64 one, I mean, I've never played any other versions. This one, it's just, I'll be surprised if this isn't my favourite version. I mean, the sound is awesome. It's got digitised speech. I believe they used, was it The Big Boss or something? It was one of the Bruce Lee films. They used, they sampled speech. I mean, to sample speech, to use samples on an 8-bit machine, you know, that probably had about, I don't know, 25k free memory. It's just incredible. And the music is probably one of the finest kind of tracks to grace a computer. I'm not a big fan of music in games, but that music, what's his name? I can't remember who did the sound, the music. Was it Greg Barnett? No, Neil Brennan. Neil Brennan did the music. It's absolutely spot on. It is exactly what it should be, and it really, really adds to the game in my opinion. But yeah, a lot of people going about international karate being the better game. It may well be the better game, it may be technically better, But this one is one I always liked. Some people slag it off because A, it's a bit slow, but I just think it's perfect speed. You don't want 100 miles an hour, you want to be able to think what you're actually doing. Obviously it had the infamous sweeping leg kick like so. You could apparently complete the game by doing that, but what's the point in that? So anyway, that is the C64 one, that is a fantastic version. Let's crack on and have a look at something else. Right, okay, this is the ZX Spectrum one, which you can probably tell. Now, this is the first time I think I've ever actually loaded the Spectrum one, and I've got to say, it is really, really, really nice looking. I mean, look at the backgrounds here. You know, talk about colour clash. I know colour clash is just with sprites. You know, you can see what they've done here is they've rather cleverly gone. Let's just start the game. They've got a guy in black, and rather than having a sort of an outline guy, they've used clever shading. So that's excellent. That is really nice. Oh, and even a wee bit kind of sampled speech, or not speech, but that sounds kind of. Or maybe it's not sampled, but you know what, the Spectrum sound chip, it's not got a sound chip, you know what I mean, it actually sounds pretty good. It does sound kind of sampled like. That is really nice, really, really nice. I know I've only played it for about a minute, but it looks nice, the backgrounds are excellent, and it feels very, very similar in speed to the C64 one, which was the original. Graphics are nice and clear. If anything, they look that bit kind of clearer than the C64. The C64 one did use kind of big sprites, but I mean, I still think the C64 one had a really nice charm about it. But I'm really impressed with this one. Obviously there's no music, which is what you would expect. Ouch, right to the back of the head. But the most important thing about a game like this is it's got sound. It's, you know, that's you wouldn't want to play in complete silence. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of sound in games generally. Oops. In the C64 case, it's so good that I'll let it away with that. But yeah, this is excellent. It's got all the same controls. Again, you can use obviously keys. Let's try and get a back kick if I can. There we go, right to the back of the head. He's blocking there. Ouch. Now I don't know if they fixed the leg sweep in this version. Like I said, the C64 one was the original, and it was quite a famous, I wouldn't say it was bug, it was a famous flaw. But the thing is, you know, yeah, a game could be completed with one move, but then don't do that move. What's the point of that? A game like this is all about learning and getting satisfaction out of actually learning how to play. It's not about hammering a button. You know, it's like playing a shoot 'em up with infinite energy or unlimited lives. I mean, unlimited lives I can maybe get because you've still got a bit of challenge, but people who put invincibility on in a shoot 'em up, I don't get that at all. Unless you just want to see the graphics, but in that case, I don't know, it's certainly not for me. But yeah, getting back to this is really, really nice. Plays really sweet, looks excellent as well. You know, it doesn't have the colour of the Commodore, but and the sprites, but you know what, it's using the Spectrum's hardware to the kind of base of its ability. Take that. Anyway, yep, that is lovely. That is the ZX Spectrum one. Right, this is the Amstrad one. Now you know what, I have played this. I did play this, I remember playing this fairly recently. I'm trying to think when I did. I did check to see I hadn't done a video of this, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get back on track. Yeah, this is the Amstrad one. Now, it looks very, very, very similar to the C64 one, which is not a bad thing. I think the graphics maybe look slightly smaller. I like the guy in blue, the colour of his uniform. The little Sphinx has got a rather small looking head, I think. Again, this one lacks any music, but again, that's not a bad thing, I don't think. But this is pretty sweet. That was silly. I knew I was going to get a kick in the back. Oops, let's start again. I thought I'd started. It was a demo. But yeah, I would say, bar the music, no, the actual sound. I mean, the sound's not as good. The C64 one did have that kind of sort of sampled sound effects, which really added to it. This is pretty good. Animation's really nice. Background's pretty good. Maybe not quite as nice as the C64 one, but I'm maybe just being a wee bit biased. Ouch. Yeah, I'm trying to think, why did I play this? Maybe I have made a video of this already. I can't honestly remember, but it doesn't matter. It's made now, so you can just watch it again. But this is really good. Little leg sweep there. I'm trying to remember, how do you... Oh, I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to remember how you do a punch. A crouching punch. Yeah, but listen, that is excellent as well. That is the Amstrad version. Right, okay, this is the very last version we're going to look at. This is on the Acorn BBC Micro. Now, I can't actually play this and record at the same time. Now, just bear with me. The reason being is to start, when you start the recording software that I use, to stop it, there's a shortcut for, you press F10 and it stops. But F10 is the button you need to start this game, and I've tried to reconfigure the keyboard and it's just not playing ball. So basically, as soon as I start the game, the recording software stops. So we'll just watch the demo. You can see enough. It certainly looks, apart from the colours, it looks kind of Commodore 64ish. The sprites look very similar. Obviously a wee bit wee looking, although I'm playing this on a smaller screen, so I dare say if it was on the proper screen, it is kind of wider. It's like widescreen actually, which is slightly unusual for an 8-bit machine. It's also, excuse me, it's also got some music playing. Not as good as the C64, but you know, it's music nevertheless. Now obviously you can play with keys and joystick. What else is there? Aye, I mean, it looks alright. I said it's kind of limited colour palette. It's probably the fastest of all the ones that we've actually looked at. But yeah, not bad. So to really summarise it, by the way, there is actually a version on the C16 and also on the, what is it? C16 and also the BBC, the BBC Electron. Not the BBC Electron, the Acorn Electron, yep, which is basically this computer's smaller brother. Now, I don't have these to hand to actually play. Now, I could pinch somebody else's video, but I'm not going to do that. I do that occasionally and I always credit them, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bother including these ones. So yeah, I've got to say, every version we've looked at, they're all really good. This one plays absolutely fine. Bit limited in colour, but you know, it's a BBC game, what do you expect? Amstrad one's pretty nice, very similar to the C64 graphically. Spectrum one, I was pleasantly surprised at just how good that one is. Plays really nice, the graphics are fantastic, lacky sound, which you would expect, and then obviously the C64 one is the original. In my opinion, it is the best version. There's not a poor version, but I think the C64 steals it because of the amazing music. It is fantastic, and it's also got the really good kind of digitised sound effects. So I might be biased, possibly, but I think, in my opinion, the C64 one is the best version on the 8-bits, but there's not a poor version, although we haven't seen the C16 one. So anyway, as usual guys, thank you very much for watching. Oh, go on then. Ha! Don't say I didn't warn you.